Hey guys, I'm Crimo, the anonymous investigator. This week I cover the case of George Huguely. Yeardley Love was a beautiful, bright young woman from Baltimore who had a love for lacrosse. She was the daughter of Sharon and John Love and the younger sister of Lexi. As Yeardley grew up, she was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, or ADD. Yeardley was prescribed Adderall to help her cope with the condition. Throughout her childhood, Yeardley dreamed of playing lacrosse at the University of Virginia. She attended the Notre Dame Preparatory School, where she was a member of the varsity lacrosse and field hockey teams for 4 years, and in 2006 she became an all-county lacrosse player. When she was in the 8th grade, her father, John, died of prostate cancer. Sharon raised the 2 girls on her own, and the trio were extremely close. Keen to follow her dreams, Yeardley enrolled at the University of Virginia, where she studied Spanish and political science. Yeardley also became a member of the women's lacrosse team, and in the summer of 2007, she started dating fellow lacrosse player George Huguely V. George was the son of a wealthy Washington socialite who liked to get drunk and party with his friends. Yeardley and George had an on-off relationship due to infidelity and Huguely's aggressive behaviour, which was triggered by alcohol. George had a series of run-ins with the law. In September 2007, he was booked for reckless driving after speeding at 70 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone. 2 months later, he was arrested for possession of alcohol as a minor. He was 19. On the 14th of November 2008, he was found stumbling through traffic after a party at a friend's fraternity in Lexington. When confronted by Officer Moss, George became combative physically and started shouting obscenities. Moss, who was described as a petite female officer, deployed her taser in order to gain control of Huguely, who was threatening her. He said, "I'll kill you. I'll kill all of y'all. I'm not going to jail." Huguely was charged with public intoxication, resisting arrest, and public swearing. He received a 60-day suspended sentence, 6 months probation, a $100 fine, and was required to complete 50 hours of community service. He was also told to attend substance abuse counseling. George completed all of these requirements. However, he did not disclose his arrest to the University of Virginia, despite a requirement to do so. Huguely continued to spiral out of control, and in 2008, his father called the Florida police to the family's luxurious yacht with a domestic abuse complaint. When the police motored out to the yacht, George jumped into the Atlantic Ocean and began swimming to shore. No arrests were made in that incident. On the 21st of February 2009, he attacked a teammate in his sleep after hearing rumours that he had kissed Yeardley. The teammate was left with a bruised eye, and the team coach was told about the attack. However, the incident is swept under the carpet and no charges are filed against George. The on-off relationship between George and Yeardley was often filled with arguments. Friends of the couple said that Huguely was obsessed with Yeardley. He would constantly text and call her, to the point that people close to her worried about the relationship. When the pair were in their senior year, they lived just one apartment building away from each other. On the 27th of February 2010, Michael Burns, a lacrosse player at the University of North Carolina, was attending a party in Huguely's apartment building when he heard a woman yelling, "Help me, help me." Mike followed the screams to a nearby bedroom and opened the door. When he entered the room, he saw George with his arm tight around Yeardley's neck. When Huguely heard Mike enter the room, he let go of Yeardley and left. The pair had been arguing about text messages Yeardley had found on George's phone. After being choked by her boyfriend, Yeardley tells some of her friends that her relationship with George is over. However, the couple are still seen together. 2 days later, Yeardley told Michael that everything was fine with George, and she expressed no fear or concern about him. Huguely gave Yeardley an apology letter, stating that she was his best friend, and that he was horrified the way I behaved and treated you. Scared to know that I can get that drunk to the point where I cannot control the way I behave. No action was taken to discipline, suspend or remove George from the lacrosse team. It was like the incident never happened. After the attack, Yeardley went home for a few days. She tells her mum and sister about the incident. Lexi urged her sister to get a restraining order against George, but Yeardley didn't seem to think that it was that big of a deal. After a few days with her family, Yeardley returned to campus. On the 27th of April 2010, Yeardley had 4 or 5 drinks whilst out with her friends. She became angry when someone mentioned that George was seeing and texting another woman. At around 2 a.m, she went to George's apartment and entered his room without knocking. Once in the room, Yeardley saw 2 female high school seniors. George claimed that he had allowed them to stay at his apartment as a favour until they were able to locate their host. Yeardley demanded to know whether these were the women George had been texting, and hit him repeatedly with her purse. Yeardley then told him that she had hooked up with Michael Burns earlier that week. She later emailed George an apology, writing, "Sorry I went crazy." The pair then argued via email. George fumed at Yeardley for hooking up with Burns, then attacking me. He also says, "I should have killed you." Yeardley, who was on a lacrosse team trip to Northwestern University at the time, showed the email to at least one teammate, and told several others about it. She responded to the email with, "You should have killed me, you are so messed up." In another email, George says, "We should talk tonight." The next day, Yeardley and George were seen holding hands at a gathering of lacrosse players and their families. On Sunday the 2nd of May, Huguely began drinking early in the morning, and was already slurring his words by 9 a.m. At a lacrosse team golf tournament later that morning, George continued to drink heavily and became increasingly intoxicated and uncoordinated. Later that day at a post-tournament reception, he was inarticulate. After the reception, Huguely, his father and some teammates went to a restaurant where they continued to drink wine. According to his friends, George then knocked over a bottle of wine and later urinated on the side of a building. At around 10:30 p.m, George met teammates Kevin Carroll, Ken Clausen and Mikey Thompson in his apartment. He was visibly drunk and incoherent. At 11:40 p.m, Carroll and Clausen went out for beers, and Thompson went back to his apartment. At roughly the same time, George walked downstairs to the apartment of teammate Chris Clements, who was working, and told him to go away. Meanwhile, Yeardley had been out celebrating a friend's birthday from around 5 p.m. to 10 p.m, where she consumed at least 4 drinks. Yeardley and her roommate, Caitlin Whiteley, then returned to their apartment, intending to shower and go back out. However, as Caitlin prepared to leave, she found Yeardley lying in bed, in just her underwear. According to Caitlin, Yeardley was drunk, and seemed like she might pass out, but said that she would consider meeting up later. At around 2 a.m, Caitlin returned to the apartment with a friend, with the intention of getting Yeardley to go out with them. Caitlin made her way through the apartment to Yeardley's bedroom. As she opened the bedroom door, she saw Yeardley lying under her comforter, in her usual sleeping position on her bed. As Caitlin got closer to the bed, she noticed that Yeardley was still dressed in the same clothes she'd been seen in earlier that night, and she was lying face down on her left-hand pillow. Caitlin got onto the bed and touched Yeardley in an effort to wake her. But when Caitlin moved her hair, she noticed that there was blood on the sheets and pillow. There were cuts on her face, and she had a swollen black eye. However, Yeardley's body was still warm, so Caitlin called 911 and told the dispatcher that she believed Yeardley had suffered from a possible alcohol overdose. When emergency services arrive at the scene, they find Yeardley unresponsive. Medics tried to resuscitate the 22-year-old for around 25 minutes, but Yeardley was dead. Investigators comb the scene, and when detectives arrive at the apartment, they notice that Yeardley had obvious physical injuries to her body. Yeardley's body is taken away and an autopsy is carried out. In the meantime, the police continue to examine the crime scene. There were no dents or marks on the walls, and there were no signs of a struggle. However, there was a hole in Yeardley's bedroom door. Had someone broken in and attacked her? The police questioned Yeardley's neighbour, Anna Lehman, a student who lived in the downstairs apartment. Anna claims that she saw George go to Yeardley's apartment at around midnight. She says that she heard footsteps on the stairs and one loud noise. Anna tells detectives that she saw George Huguely walking away from Yeardley's apartment roughly 10 minutes after he had arrived. George is brought in for questioning. He has bruises and scrapes on his arms and legs.
Just so you know, I don't have any arrest warrants for you, okay? However, I am investigating a case, all right, and you are being detained, which means right now you're not free to leave, okay? So I want to talk to you about this to find out, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So before I want to talk to you, I want to make sure you do understand your rights, okay? And that way I can explain to you what's going on and all that good stuff. Do you understand? You understand that? Okay. Today's date is May the 3rd, 2010. The current time is, I can't tell them that much, 7:52.
I draw the papers too.
What's that?
So my drawing papers still right now.
No. All right, your first name is George?
Yes.
G-E-O-R. And your middle name?
Is Wesley.
How you spell that?
W-E-S-L-E-Y.
And spelling of your last name?
H-U-G-U.
G-U.
U-E-L-Y.
I've already told you who I am, Lisa Reeves, and this is Ed Pratcher. He is also a detective at the Charles Police Department.
Okay.
And this is just something I have to ask you. Can you read and write?
Yes.
Have any threats or promises been made to you by the police or the Commonwealth Attorney's Office?
No.
Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before questioning and have one present during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be provided for you. And if you're willing to talk to us now, you have the right to stop talking anytime. Got it?
Yep.
Awesome. Just need your signature there that you understand your rights and are willing to talk to us. And the time now is 7:53. And because Detective Pratcher is here, I'm going to stick his name in here. All right. What I might do, might take a few notes here and stuff as I'm talking to you. And, first of all, I just want to kind of get a little background on you, if that's okay. You're a UVA student, obviously. How long have you been a student?
It's my 4th year.
4th year? Oh, okay. Long time there, huh? How long have you lived where you live right now?
For 2 years.
For 2 years? Okay. And you play lacrosse?
Yeah.
How long have you been playing that?
Since I was very young. Like at school for 4 years.
Okay. All right. Do you work anywhere?
No.
You don't work anywhere at all? Okay. Where do you get your support from? Family? Let's kind of start. I'm going to kind of ask you some questions, and like I said, we'll explain things a little bit later. Tell me about your day yesterday.
Played golf with our parents. It was a a father-son, good event. I mean,
Where was that at?
at, Wintergreen.
Wintergreen.
Mhm.
Okay.
I went to dinner with my dad, my two buddies.
Where was that? Where did you?
I went to C&L.
Okay.
And then, went home, went to the bar for like a little while. And
What time did you go out to eat?
the golf event ended at 5-ish, so we were probably back at, that was probably 7:30 with dinner.
Okay.
And then went home, I drank a few beers, went, like, I went to the bar for a little while, I went to
Which bar?
Boyle Heights.
Well, okay.
Then I went over to talk to Yeardley, and
Who's Yeardley?
Yeardley is my former girlfriend,
Okay.
which this whole thing's about, which I understand. But when I went over to talk to Yeardley, I was like, Yeardley, and she was like already totally freaked out because of what she did this past, like a few days ago, and we haven't talked since, and I was just gonna go talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was already like, freaking out. Like, you can't go, you can't go. And I was like, I'm like just trying to talk to you. And like, she like started being like getting like all like, like really like defensive against it, because the week before she came into my apartment and like attacked, like, and started striking me, and I like was like, all right, you gotta leave, and like had my roommate's girlfriend finally be like, all right, you like take her out of there because of this. So when I went in to talk to her, because literally they've been away, we've been away, when we talked to her, she was already like on the defensive edge, and like I was like, listen, I'm not here to like, I'm just here to talk to you. And she like got all like sat up, like her bed's against the wall, like if it was in this corner, she was like up against the wall, and I was like we were sitting there talking, and like she started being like getting like all like aggressive after this. And so I was like, all right, like chill out, like, and shook her a little bit, and she started being like freaking out, and I was like, listen, I'm not like here to do anything, I'm here to talk to you about everything that's ensued in the past week. And she was like, and like started like being like, no, like hitting her head, like stop, like she was in the corner, I was sitting on the bed, I was like, stop, like, I was like, we were already like, what the hell, like, we were just gonna talk, and like, it was not at all like a good conversation, because that's like, she was already like freaking out with just even seeing me there.
Okay. What happened next?
What happened next, and she kept hitting her head against the wall while she was sitting on the bed, and I was like, and I grabbed her and I like shook her, I was like, stop, like we need to like, and looked at her, I was like, we need to like talk about this, and like, I mean, I was holding her arms and stuff, but like, I never struck her, I never like hit her like in the face or anything. I was just like, we need to talk, and she was so like, oh, I mean, what's the word? Like, like flopping a fish out of the water, like so like all this, all because of what happened last week. And I was like, listen, like I'm not here to like fight with you or like do anything, like here to talk to you. And like, and she was like, no, like get away from me, all this like, and like that's what happened. Like I left, like she was in her bed, I think her nose was bleeding a little bit. But she was in her, like, when I left, she was, like, still in her bed, like, and then, actually, she may have, at one point, she got on the floor, and we were talking, we were, like, and she was still, like, fighting. Actually, no, she went over to her desk, where the desk is, and she was like, you have to leave, 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 like all this stuff. And I was like, all right, like fine, like, but like I want to talk to you after all this. And like I was like a little bit persistent because of the situation. You know, my former girlfriend who something happened last week, you know, and I was like, all right, like, well, so we were like talking over there, and I mean, somehow we ended up, somehow I was resting her on the floor, and I was just like, stop, I just like, and I was holding her, but I never struck her or anything, and I think that might have been when her nose started to bleed. Actually, it was when I was holding her on the floor, being like, listen, like, I'm like, you can't attack me, like, I wanted to talk to her about, you know, everything, because I got on, like, whatever, like, text messages, like, from her and all this stuff, and so that's when I was, like, holding her, but not forcefully, and then, you know, then I guess that's when her nose might have started to bleed, was when, like, it rolled like that, like, her face on the ground, and her nose started bleeding, and then the conversation, I could tell, was just like, it was not going anywhere, and nothing was happening. Like, you know, and I went back home.
Well, let's kind of start from, you keep talking about something that happened last week. What happened last week?
What happened last week?
You said kind of set up the...
Well, yeah, that's why I was going over there to talk to her. Well, yeah, what happened
last week? Let's start there.
Last week? Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of things happened, but basically, she came over to my apartment
Let me stop it there real quick. How long y'all been dating?
For 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Okay, all right. Now, start with that last week. Did y'all break up last week?
We broke up like a month ago, but it had been like talking and like, you know, hanging out and stuff.
Why'd you break up?
Because we broke up because she wanted to, but like was because she wasn't really sure about all this, because we were both like graduating, you know, and she wants to move to New York and I want to move like to San Francisco. And so she was like, we don't really know, and she was like, you know, sort of unsure about all of this. So she was like, sort of like broken off like slightly over like, you know, a period of time, like, all right, well, like we shouldn't hang out anymore, but we were still hanging out and everything. And then calling a week ago, she went down to Carolina, and like, I don't know what happened there, but she told me what happened, which was that Wednesday night. She sends me a text message like, oh, I'm so glad, like I'm so glad, like I fucked so-and-so, you know. And so I didn't respond to that. I was like, whatever, like. She
said she fucked somebody? Is that what you just said?
Hooked up, fucked, like same thing. So I didn't even respond to that. Those were like text messages. And so I was like, Brian, like to my roommate, like, look at this, like, this is fucked up. And didn't respond. So went to the bar, like saw her at the bar actually, and she's like all like, you know, like fucked up. So I was talking to a buddy, and we were and like she comes over. It was like my buddy, like didn't even bother. And then I'm at home on my sofa, and she comes in the door like this. Two of them with the same body as mine, the same body that was there earlier, and two girls that were visiting, deciding if they wanted to come here to school or not. And she walks in the door, opens the door, and comes over and just starts hitting me in the face. And I like got up and I was like, stop, like you know, like get off of me, like leave me alone, like you can't like do this, you can't just like start doing this, like. And then I had basically had my roommate girlfriend, is friends with my girlfriend. I was like, yo, Liz, like, calling from her from the kitchen, like, get her out of here. Like, never, like, touched her, never struck her. I was just like, listen, like, you have to, like, stop hitting me. And she wouldn't stop, and she kept coming and kept coming. So that happened. So I was going over there to talk to her last night on Sunday, and like, and that was the reason why I was going over there to talk to her. And I never like hit her, never struck her, never, and nothing happened.
All right, so you go over there, knock on the door.
Her front door was open, her room door was closed. I knocked, like all day, like, she heard me open the door and went in.
All right, went in where?
To her room.
All right, straight to her bedroom?
Straight to her bedroom, yeah, I mean.
How'd you get through the door?
Her door or the front door?
Her door.
Actually, it might have been locked.
It was.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Just be honest with me.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was locked, yeah. Because I think I put a hole.
Yeah, you punched a hole through the door?
Pretty sure, actually, now. Yeah, that used to have that, yeah.
All right, why'd you do that?
Because I won't talk to her, because like, she's been sending me like emails.
Was she
like,
telling you to leave, or?
Well, I guess, yeah, once I was in her room, she was like very like, you know, like, or like, no, I'm not, like, I don't want to talk to you, like, all this stuff. Like, you know.
What was she wearing?
What was she wearing? I think she was in her bed. She was in her underwear and a t-shirt.
Okay. All right, so you get in there, she's in her. Okay, I'm not saying you do that, I'm just trying to picture.
Yeah, no, I understand, but like.
All right, so she's in her bed, t-shirt and underwear, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Light on, light off?
Light off, I'm pretty sure she was like, this was like around, probably I want to say like 12:45-ish.
Okay.
So she was like she was like either asleep or like, you know, doing something, and so I went in there to talk to her, and she was very like, you know, very on edge, like, I don't want to talk, like, I don't want to talk, like, you know.
Okay.
I was like, listen, like, what you pulled last week was outrageous, like, I just want to talk to you. And
Why'd you punch the door then?
because I want to talk to her.
All right, well, continue on. That's fine, continue on. So you're talking to her and she doesn't want to talk to you?
Not really. I mean, we talked though. Like, there was parts where we were talking, and then like.
You know what you're talking about?
I mean, about so many different things.
Okay. Like what?
Like what she did last week. Like went to like Carolina, how she attacked me. You know, like she went to Carolina and hooked up with someone Sunday when we were still trying to figure out things. Came over, attacked me on Tuesday. You know, and I'm just sitting like, and I was over there like to talk. Like I was like, this is outrageous. Like, I mean, and because I was trying to make everything better, and then like, you know. And then all of this happens, and then she comes in and attacks me, and I'm like, and to the point where my roommate's girlfriend has to like take her out of there.
Okay.
So
Let's go back to you were in her room tonight.
Yeah, last night.
Last night.
Yeah, and so she's like in the corner. If her bed's like, if her bed would push all the way back, like in the corner, like, you know, like, and I'm pretty sure that she was very defensive because she knew. Like how upset I was, because I've told her like through emails like how upset I was like about what she did, and about Tuesday night for like coming in and just starting to strike me. And so I was like, and I sat on the edge of it, I was like, listen, like, I want to talk to you, like what you did was bullshit, like that's not like okay. Like,
So you're pretty upset, pretty angry.
Yeah, I was more like emotional than I would say angry.
Okay. You're hurting.
And I was just like, and she's like, not like, you know, she's like you know, sort of pushing everything that she did to the back burner and like talking about like you know like trying to like put everything that she did like wasn't important. And like, you know, we talked and she like kept getting like, and she kept saying things like, oh well, like, you know, like I mean, what she was saying stuff like, well, I would trust you, like, or stuff like that. And I was, and like, and it kept going to the point where she, like, I was like, listen, like, you're like, we have to figure like out what's going on. And she was like, I'm not talking to you. And then she like pushed me, like, get out of here, like go. And I was like, no. And like I was like, be like, we have to talk, like, so like get like.
When you're doing that, what are you holding on her?
On her arms.
On her arms, like maybe up here.
Like shoulders, yeah.
Shoulders.
Like yeah, like never like never like, you know. I mean, if I could like show you.
No, it's all right.
I know, but like,
up her arms.
Like, come on, like, you know, and that's when she would like wiggle and like get away and like, you know, like hide get in the corner, like really like aggressive, like defensively almost. And then we like wrestled on the ground the same way. Her nose started bleeding. And then she ended, I think she was back in bed, and I left. I was like, this is not going anywhere.
How did she get back in bed?
We were like wrestling, and we stood up, and I tossed her, I pushed her onto the bed. I was like, go to bed, like, I'll talk to you later. I'm like, I didn't like throw her, but like, we were like standing up at this point after we were wrestling on the ground. She had like a bloody nose. And I was like, go to bed.
Okay. And you kind of tossed her on the bed and you left?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go back and check on her at any point?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you touch her neck area at all? Did you choke her at one point?
I may have grabbed her a little bit by the neck when we were like, but I never like strangled her.
Okay.
But I mean, during the whole like commotion, you know, like I might have grabbed her neck, but I never was like strangling her.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go check on something really quick, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Do you mind if I use the restroom?
Actually, hold on 1 second.
I mean, she's a...
I'm sorry, my phone was going off, and I had to take that call. I really apologize. I know you gotta use that for 1 second, just want to kind of make sure whenever everything I wanted to talk to you about. You said you got there about 12:45, is that right?
I think so.
You think?
I mean,
Okay.
around that area.
Why do you think it's that time? Just
Because, you know, I went to dinner around 7:30, I think.
okay.
And went home for a little while, then went to the bar for a little bit. So I mean, that's just my,
Kind of estimate, maybe.
you know, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not.
Did you call her and let her know you were coming, or text her, or?
No, because she says she lost her phone the night that she came over to my apartment. She says it's my apartment, but it's not. So she doesn't have a phone.
Okay.
So I did not call her or text her.
How long do you think you were at her apartment when you were there?
Like between, like around like 8 minutes. I mean, like.
Not long?
I mean, no, not 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Was anybody else there? Just the two of you?
No, her roommates weren't there actually.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. When you left her apartment, did you take anything with you?
No,
Nothing
she
at
was
all?
in her bed.
All right. Because I think we're not. Her laptop is missing, I guess. Did you grab it for any reason?
Yeah, I did actually.
You did? Okay. Is it at your apartment?
Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere in my apartment. I can
Okay.
give it to her.
Why'd you grab her laptop?
because I was so pissed that she wouldn't talk to me. I was like, I don't know. I like took it almost as like collateral, I guess. I don't know. It's not reasonable logic, but
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
Did you take anything else besides your laptop?
No.
Nothing?
No. I mean.
All right. So when you left out of there, I mean, you saw that she was bleeding on her nose. Did you try to call rescue or anything to make sure she was all right?
No, I did not.
No. Why?
I didn't think it was like. I didn't think that she was like in need of like going to the emergency room. She just got. I mean, a blood.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I mean,
Did you say when you were, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you were shaking her, her head was hitting the wall?
Well, that was in the beginning. That was initially when I walked in. Like she was like up in the corner, get out of here, like like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
At any time when you were shaking her, did her head bang the wall? Did you shake her into the wall? I know you already said you didn't punch her and stuff.
No, I mean I wasn't like throwing her into the wall. Like I mean we were sitting on her bed, which is against the wall, and I was and I was like you're like, and like I mean maybe like I wasn't hitting her against the wall, but like when she's like sitting there in the corner of like if it were like this, and I'm like you're like and I was like what the fuck was that about? Like that's such bullshit that you like do that, like I mean possibly I was like that's such a like bullshit move, like what like ever like hitting her, like what are you like doing like that, like
okay. She has a pretty good knot on her head. That's why I'm asking how you can explain how that would have happened.
I mean I don't even know when that a knot. I mean,
like on the side of her head, she's been hit pretty good right there. So I'm just trying to figure out, did you hit her with something?
No,
Was that her head into the wall?
I never touched her or struck her or anything.
Well, you touched her. You had your hands on her.
I said never struck her.
Okay.
Never at all. Like.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why she's got a black eye and why she's got a big lump right there.
I mean,
So you never hit her with anything?
I don't know.
Is that what you're saying? You never hit her
I don't know how.
With anything.
So she's got them.
So, okay. All right. No, that's fine. All right. So I'm gonna go through this one more time, make sure we're on the same page. So you're pretty pissed at her from a week ago for sending you text messages. Do you have those text messages where she says she, as you put it, fucked somebody?
I actually might have those. Yeah.
All right. You got your phone with you?
Yeah.
And let's pull it out and scroll through it. Let's see if we can see those.
This is.
We didn't say them.
They were like, I guess what you call like one of these, which is like an ongoing conversation, an ongoing like instant message, and it's gone.
Okay. I'll use that one then. What we got right in front of her. All right.
I mean, I can show
So you're
I can
pretty
show you
pissed.
the emails that say she hooked up with someone. Like, I mean, I'm not lying about that.
Do you have a home computer or laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where all the emails are? I mean, can you get to them on that?
Actually, they're deleted off here. I can get to them though.
Okay. All right. That's fine right now. So last week, y'all kind of broke up a while back. It's kind of been, you've still been talking. Last week, she gets pissed. You get pissed because she sends you a text. So last night, you go over there wanting to talk. Let's talk about how you entered. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Because to have put your fist through the door.
No, it's actually my leg, I'm pretty sure.
Your leg?
Because that's why my leg's like this.
Yeah, you're right. No, with your leg.
Yeah.
How did you get all the bruising on your hand then?
This is all from across. This is all.
That's pretty fresh right there, looks.
This is all from my lacrosse game on Saturday. I wear my arm, you can see where my arm pads are. Right here, my gloves right here, and that's
even right there. I thought you wore those padded gloves.
This is
lacrosse.
This is all the difference. This is all from lacrosse. 100%. This is where my arm pads are, and my glove goes to here. This is all tanner because that's where it gets sun compared to where my legs, like the difference in color. And that's, I got whacked here. I remember 100% got whacked during the game when I was trying to kill the clock.
When you had her and you're shaking her, did she scratch you anywhere?
No.
No?
No.
She's a little girl. She's tiny.
Yeah, she's not. No, she didn't
She didn't try to hit you or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So you kick in the door.
Yeah, that's how I entered. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I stuck my hand through and unlocked it, and went in there, and everything else is for you.
All right. What was she saying while you're kicking the door? I mean, did you just go straight and kick her, or did you knock first?
No, I knocked first. I was like, "Yeardley, let me in," and she was like, and I think she was like, she said something that was, I remember that was like, I just don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember saying something, or like whispering some shit, or like, I don't know, and I was like, all right, well, like, she knew, because I sent her emails. I've sent her like 6 emails recently that was like, we need to talk, I'm coming over to talk to you.
Okay.
And she didn't actually didn't respond to those past 2 ones, but I've told her, and she said something like fuck you, I'm not talking to you, like something along those lines.
All right. How much did you have to drink tonight? Or last night?
I had probably four or 5 beers on the golf course.
And that was earlier in the day, though, right?
That was early in the day. And then I had 2 glasses of wine at dinner, and then like 3 more beers afterwards, and like 3 more beers afterwards. I probably, after dinner, I probably had like 5 beers combined.
Okay. Did you smoke any weed?
No.
Any other drugs?
No, yeah,
Nothing?
no.
Okay. What were you wearing?
I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
That?
No.
No? What did shorts and t-shirt look like?
They are on my floor of my room. There are cargo shorts and a t-shirt.
Okay. What color are the cargo shorts?
Blue.
And t-shirt?
I think white, but I'm not positive. Yeah, I mean a white t-shirt.
All right, we've been through what all happened. When did you leave? Right after you went out the front door?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Home.
Straight home?
Yeah.
Talk to anybody?
No.
Call anybody?
No.
You said she didn't have a phone, right?
She doesn't have a phone. No.
Is her phone at your house?
Me and my roommate looked for her phone, and my roommate's girlfriend has looked for her phone. We have it's not at our apartment.
Okay. So, but you pick up her computer on the way out the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Anything else did you take?
No.
Nothing.
Not.
Where are we going to find the computer at?
The computer is, the dumpster maybe.
So you threw her computer in the dumpster?
Yeah, the one right by 14th Street.
Okay.
The one, no, not the one right by 14th Street. It is the one right by the Point.
By the Point?
There's an apartment
Called the Point, yeah.
And on the way home, I just tossed it in there. I walked over there, tossed it in there, and walked home.
Okay.
That's where the computer is.
All right. Did you toss anything else in there that we need to know about?
No.
Okay. So what do you do once you get home?
I just went to bed.
Anybody else home?
No.
No?
No.
And you just went to bed and then we show
I
up?
went to bed and you showed up this
You
morning.
take a shower or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay.
No, nothing.
And did you happen to look at the clock before you lay down?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know what time. I wasn't paying attention,
Right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get one of these detectives to follow you into the bathroom right quick, or take you to the bathroom right quick. You wanna take him to the bathroom right quick?
Not yet, not yet. If you can hold up just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this don't stop.
Did you want to continue to talk to him a little bit? You know some stuff?
No, we'll talk this real quick.
All right. I'm gonna hold on to your phone right there. We don't allow anybody to use their phones in here, okay? Okay, yeah. All right, good enough. He's got a couple more questions for you, sir, all right?
That's why there's two of us. We catch stuff each one of us miss. I know we touched about what happened last night, but set it up for me, lead it up to me a little bit here. Why did you guys break up exactly? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, we are not from the same area.
Right.
And she wants me to New York, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing yet, but I'd like to move to San Francisco. And so we've been talking about this. She found a text message in my phone from another girl, and then we broke up because of that.
That was it?
Sort of ongoing type deal.
Because it's funny that you mentioned putting your hands around her neck and holding her back that way. Is there another reason why you two broke up? Any arguments? Any past physical violence? Okay, because keep in mind, before we've talked to you, we've talked to other people too.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
I mean, that night that she found the text messages in my phone, I was I don't know, that night I was more drunk than I've probably ever been.
Right.
And she did the same thing, sort of yelling at me, hitting me while I'm drunk, and I actually laid on her and held her, detained her kind of, and she ended up leaving, but that happened that night.
How did you detain her?
I mean, sir, that night I was.
Did you let go of her yourself, or did other people have to come and get you off of her?
I'm not, I really don't remember that night at all.
Not at all?
No, not at all.
So maybe because you maybe smothered her a little bit that night, maybe you choked her a little bit?
No, I don't think I choked her. She never said I choked her. She said I laid on her and held her.
Right.
And
how did you lay down on her?
She said I literally laid on her.
Was she face down and you laid on top of her, or?
I don't even know. We we've hung out since that night, a bunch of times. Actually probably a dozen times since that night.
Right.
And we haven't really talked about that. But since that night, she's never said that I was choking her or anything. She said I literally laid on her and didn't let her leave.
She's about what, 105, 110 pounds soaking wet? You're almost double her size?
Yeah, probably.
You don't think that would maybe be enough to take the breath out of her if you're laying down on top of her?
I never thought about it like that,
Right.
but I never hurt her.
Right. Well, we never mentioned anything to her, to her face, and you constantly bringing up that you didn't punch her in the face.
No, I know.
We never even asked you that question.
I know. I mean,
Did you maybe at least smack her, hey,
No.
snap out of it or something like that?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I did not. No,
Nothing
I
like
did not.
that?
I never. No. I'm in here for assault charges.
Right.
That's why.
No, I
I mean-
never told you were,
Yeah.
we
Someone
had any
said.
warrants on you.
Right.
I know, but
So you're
someone
being
said we're
detained right
here
now,
for an
okay?
assault investigation.
Right.
And that's why I'm.
Have you ever threatened any harm to her?
No. No.
Why'd you take her computer?
I don't know. I have no idea.
There's maybe because there's evidence on the computer, emails that you sent?
No, there's no. I mean, you can read all the emails and everything back and forth. Like.
There's no threats, there's not gonna be anything on that computer that we're gonna bring up
No.
forensically
No.
that came from George saying, hey, you know what?
No.
I found out that you're cheating on me.
No.
Nothing like that.
Nothing.
Why'd you take that computer then?
I no. I mean, you can look at my computer. The same emails that are on my computer are on her computer. And emails are on the internet. Like, it's not like her email account is erased because I took her computer. I have no idea why I took her computer. Probably because she was like not talking to me and not like, like she like did all this stuff, and I just walked out of there with the computer.
Why would this little girl just for no reason start attacking you out of the blue?
You can ask my friends that the night that the other night.
Yeah, the other night.
You can. I wish that I have 3 eyewitnesses for that one.
Right.
She walked in and started punching me in the face, hit me with her purse, hit me with her cell phone, and literally when I stood up and backed away, it was like to the other. I was like, "You have to stop! Like, get away from me! Get away from me!" She kept coming back for more.
Okay. No violence, right? Nothing.
No, sir. I'm not lying. Like, you can read all the emails. You can look at everything.
Why in the heck would you break down her door then? Locked door
I
means don't
wanted
come
to
in.
talk to her, and I sent her
No,
emails.
that's more than that, man. That's rage, the way that door was kicked in. That was pure rage. You must have been seriously mad.
No.
You've told us everything else.
I've
You're
told you
seriously
everything.
mad,
I've
you
told you.
tell us.
I've told you guys everything. I'm not hiding anything from
Right.
you. I've told you literally everything.
But why kick it in? That's just pure rage, man.
I wanted to
If
talk
you
to her.
were that-
I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to talk
Have you
to her.
always been that way with her as far as if she didn't want to do something, it was kind of your way or the highway type of thing?
No.
No?
And I understand that, you had a lot of alcohol in you last night, okay?
I mean,
And, do you think that could have maybe led into why you were, fed your emotions to kick in that door?
that may have made me rationalize kicking in the door to open it up, but it was all strictly to go in there and talk to her. I wanted to talk to her. I've told her that. I sent her emails. You can see all the emails. You can see everything. I said we need to talk about this.
Okay.
I said like I think 3 emails. Like, I want to come talk to you when people say like fuck yourself, like and I should not have gone over there when like I was drinking, but like that when I was like that's made me emotional, so I wanted to go talk to her. That's why I kicked in the door. That's why I was like trying to talk. That's why I wanted to talk to her.
Now, I know you mentioned you fell on her like a week ago, right, when you were laying down on
No,
China.
that was
A month ago.
a month.
Where you detained her, right? Did you detain her last night at all?
No.
Did you fall down on top of her, rest on the
We were
ground?
wresling on the ground for like a little
Did
bit.
y'all wrestle on the
like-
bed at all?
No, I never I shook her.
No, I mean like just kind of hold her down until she calmed down on the bed.
No, if anything that would.
I mean,
if anything that would have been like on the floor, but
Because
like.
I'm sure you didn't want to hurt her. That way, if you were restraining her on the bed, she wouldn't be able to hurt herself as much as
No,
opposed to.
I never was like laying on her like in the bed. Like when we were on the floor, when her nose started bleeding, we were like wrestling around, and that's when her nose started bleeding.
Was it pretty noisy when you all were wrestling around?
No, I mean.
Was she screaming?
No, she was no. She was not screaming, actually.
I mean, if I'm cracking my head in the
Right.
wall, I'm going to be saying, "Ow!"
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, She was not screaming.
Yeah.
She should have been, probably. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
What do you think she should have
I don't know. I mean, well, she was screaming when I first, like, came into the room. She was like, no, like, I'm not talking to you. Like, get the fuck out of here. All that. But, like, that was it.
When, at any point, before you said you, and this was your words, you said you tossed her on the bed and then you left.
Yeah.
All right, at any point before that, did she lose consciousness?
No.
Okay. What happened after you tossed her on the bed? Did she move? Talk about, say something?
I mean, I literally tossed her on the bed and turned around and...
Tossed her on the ground or tossed her
on the bed? And
Tossed her on the bed.
walked out the door.
Okay.
She didn't cut
Did she
you out,
have
or-
on, did she still have her t-shirt on? At that point?
Yeah.
Did that get ripped off?
Yeah, I mean, she had her t-shirt on the entire time.
Okay.
She was never not unclothed.
All right. So you didn't sexually assault her or anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I know you have to, sorry. I
Okay.
apologize.
All right. So when you tossed her in her bed, was she on her back or on her stomach?
I mean, I think she was on her back. I'm not sure. I mean, I was like, you know.
I asked you earlier about the light. Because if she's kind of in bed, then maybe the lights were off. Were the lights on? And did you turn them on?
The lights were...
For you to be able to see.
The lights were not on. No.
How did you see the blood and stuff coming from her nose?
Because she's got a big bay window right by her room, and there's lights from the parking lot.
Okay.
That it's not hard. It's easy to see.
Okay. So when you tossed her back on the bed, in your mind, she was bleeding. But you said she was bleeding out her nose, and you didn't feel like you needed to call rescue
No.
after that. After banging her head and
No.
shaking her and blood coming out her nose on the floor.
No. I mean, it was.
Let me ask you this: did you? And you've been honest so far, so there's really no reason not to lie about anything. But when you left out there, were you kind of like she got what she deserved? Is that why you didn't call 911?
No. It wasn't about that for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was about going to talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing about like.
You missed anything that you want to ask him right now?
There's nothing about like going to get anything or going. You know, I don't know. I took the computer, and that was irrational.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like my collateral almost, if you could look at it like that. I mean, I guess that's where my logic was at, but which is.
Well, I have to tell you something.
Well, I think I know why you took the computer.
Why do you think?
Is
Go
that
ahead,
right?
go ahead.
No?
There you go.
She's dead. You killed her, George. You killed her.
She's dead?
I think you knew that already.
No, I did not. She's dead? How the fuck is she dead?
Because you killed her, George.
How the fuck is she dead?
Because you killed her.
Oh my god.
We're not here for any reason, George.
She's dead?
Yes.
She's dead.
Yes.
She's dead.
She's dead.
How? How?
I already told you how. You already told us how as well.
How is she dead?
You just told us.
How is she dead? How is she dead? I didn't strangle. I didn't fucking hit her. How the fuck is she dead? I don't even know. I don't. She's dead.
Yes.
How the fuck is she dead? Oh my god.
We're serious, George. That's why you took the computer, isn't it?
No.
Because you had threats to kill her on that, from a past email, because she hooked up with a player from UNC.
I said that, I never, like, that was just like, the heat of the moment. It was the heat of the moment, yeah.
Last night was heat of the moment too, wasn't it? You went in there to talk with her, but it got out of control, right, George? The alcohol got a hold of you. You kicked in her door. She started to fight with you. You punched her in the head, or you cracked.
She's not dead.
You cracked her head.
Dead.
You cracked her head in the window or in the wall.
Not dead.
She is.
She's not dead.
I ain't BSing you right now. It's serious.
I want to see her. She's
George,
not
look at
dead.
me.
George.
She is dead.
You are not here to dance with us. You're here because she's dead. The alcohol.
I don't believe it. I don't believe
It's
it.
true.
Dude, I didn't hurt her.
Listen to me.
I didn't hurt her.
Listen to me. You probably didn't mean to hurt her.
I didn't hurt her.
You went in there, you kicked the door, she got a little feisty, you either punched her or you smacked her head into the concrete, and then you held her down on the pillow, because that's what
No, I
you
didn't hit her on the pillow. I was never on the bed.
Okay, then how
I never held her down. I never suffocated. I never did anything. I don't believe that she's dead. I don't believe that she's dead.
How
I
is she-
don't believe that she's dead.
Did you punch her? Did you hit her?
How? There's no way she's dead. She's not dead. I never did anything like this, like that she could be dead.
Listen to me.
She's not dead.
Did you punch her or did
No, I never know.
Did you hold her head into the wall? Did you crack it?
No.
Did you
Is her
smack
head cracked?
Did you smack her head in the wall?
No, she's not dead. She's not dead. You guys said she has a black eye and a bump on her head.
She has those things.
But she's not dead. I did not.
All right, let's calm down.
I did not like hurt her. Like she's not dead.
Let him calm down. Calm down a minute, George, okay?
Tell me she's not dead. Tell me she's not dead.
I want you to calm down right now, okay? All right.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I never did anything that could do that to her.
Well, let's
I
calm down.
never did anything that could do that to her. I swear to God, I never did anything that could do that to her. I never. No, I don't. I refuse to believe that she's dead, because there's no way that anything that happened last night could kill her.
Okay. All right. Well, just out of protocol, what we gotta do is stand up for me, George. Go ahead, put your hands behind your back. Turn.
Relax. It's all right.
Relax, you'll be alright.
Tell me she's not dead. Tell me she's not dead, though, please. Will you tell me she's not dead?
Relax.
Please, will you tell me
You know what? I wish I could tell you that, George. 22-year-old. 22. And her life is done.
Oh my God, kill me. She can't be dead. She can't be dead. She's not. I did not do anything like that. I did not do anything that could have killed her.
You do realize you're under arrest.
I realize
All
that.
right, we're going to consult the Commonwealth Attorney on the proper charge, but it's going to be related to her death. Make sure you understand.
She's dead.
Okay.
She's not. Hell, there's no way. Oh my God, there's no way she could be dead. There's no way. Oh my God. There's no way, there's no way, there's no way. I don't believe it.
It's true.
I don't. I mean,
We just help us understand what happened last night, George. Start over from the beginning, buddy.
I'm not lying to you. Everything I said to you was so true. I've not lied to you about anything.
And she had a T-shirt on.
Yeah. I'm most confident. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Was her t-shirt not on when
We're not going to tell you. We're not
I
going to
mean,
speak
yeah,
about it like
it's
that.
fine.
Help us understand what happened last night, George. Go through it again.
I told you everything. I told you everything. I don't even believe it yet. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. I don't believe it.
Okay.
All right. Just a second.
But there's no way. There's no way, sir. Sir, there's no way she's dead. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
It's true, George.
How would it? There's no way. There's no way she could be dead.
Why do you think you're sitting here in handcuffs?
Maybe for what you guys said were assault charges.
She's dead. I'm not lying to you.
You would have said murder charges. If you were lying, if you were honest with me, you would have said murder charges.
She was assaulted.
You would have said murder charges. You said I would have murdered her. You would have said I murdered. Did she die this morning? Afterwards?
I can't tell you when.
I know, but I listen. I didn't murder. I didn't murder. I didn't. I know she's not dead. 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 There's no way she's dead.
Calm down, George.
There's no way she's dead. There's no way. There can't be any way she's dead. There can't be any way that she's dead. Sir, I'm telling you, there's no way she's dead. You have to be lying to me. Tell me you're lying to me. Tell me you're lying to me. How is she dead?
I'm not lying to you.
How is she dead? How? What did she die from?
Well, we're gonna find that out.
What did she die from?
We're gonna find out. I can't make that determination.
Sir.
Either the head trauma or asphyxiation.
There was no asphyxiation.
Okay.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And I know you told me the truth, but I think there may be some parts you're leaving out.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
Then how did she get all that head trauma?
From banging.
I don't believe that. I don't believe she banged her own head in the wallway.
Well, wrestling. I don't believe she's dead. I don't believe she's dead. I don't believe she's dead. I don't believe it. There's no way she's dead. There's no way she's dead. There's no way. She has to be alive. She has to be. There's no way. She wasn't. There's no way. There's no way. The last time I saw her, she was not dead. She was not dead. There's never.
What was she doing the last time you saw her?
She was like standing up with me. She was standing up with me. She was standing up with me, looking at me.
Was she standing or you were holding her?
She was standing up, looking at me.
Okay.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Sir, I don't believe it. Sir, please tell me you're lying.
I'm not lying. She's dead.
Sir, how is she dead? How?
That's what I want you to clarify.
How?
You know how.
How? No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Why didn't you know?
Well, she's not dead. She's not dead. She's not dead. I know she's not dead. I know. This is not right.
I know it got out of control last night, George.
She's not dead. She's not dead. I know she's not dead. I know 100,000,000% she's not dead. I did. She cannot be dead. You're not lying to me either, are you? You're not lying. She's dead. Oh my God!
I know it got out of hand, George.
No, it did not. It didn't.
Then what happened?
I didn't kill her. I did not kill her. I did not kill her. I did not. I did not. I did not kill her.
Did you maybe smack her head one time too hard?
I never hit. No. I mean,
And then lay her-
maybe on the ground. No.
Did you smack her head, maybe lay her on the bed so she could kind of relax?
No. 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 No.
Well, you didn't punch her because, I don't think you would have done that.
No. 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 I still do not believe it. So, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You just came in and said you were filing an assault charge, which makes sense, but that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
She was assaulted and she died.
No way. No way. No way. No way. No way.
And you were there. This happened when you were there. Now's the time to man up, George. Tell me what happened.
I told you what happened. I told you what happened. I told you what happened.
What happened to get...
I told you what happened. I told you what happened.
How did it get out of control?
It didn't. I told you what happened. It didn't get out of control. She's not dead. She's not dead. She's not dead. There's no way she's dead. There's no way. I didn't do it. No way. No way.
Yeardley's autopsy report revealed several injuries. George Huguely was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. In 2011, additional charges were filed against him. The charges were felony murder in a robbery or attempted robbery, burglary, robbery of a residence, grand larceny, and entering a house with the intention to commit a felony. At his trial, he pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. Prosecutors allege that an enraged Huguely kicked through the door of Yeardley's bedroom the night she died and shook her, banging her head against the wall. The defense suggested that Yeardley's death may have been caused by a fatal combination of Adderall and alcohol that could have stopped her heart. Yeardley had been prescribed Adderall for attention deficit disorder, and the defense urges jurors to consider Huguely's role in her death as involuntary manslaughter at the most. Medical examiner Bill Gormley took to the witness stand and testified that Yeardley's blood alcohol level was 0.14. This is almost more than twice the legal driving limit, but significantly less than the 0.40 minimum usually associated with alcohol-related death. A forensic toxicologist also testified that the amount of Adderall found in Yeardley's body was normal for someone who had been prescribed the drug as she had. Yeardley only had a 0.05 concentration of Adderall in her system, and it usually takes a concentration of between 0.20 and 0.50 to be fatal. These two testimonies undermine the defence's claims. On the 22nd of February 2012, the jury found George Huguely guilty of second-degree murder and grand larceny. The jury recommended a sentence of 25 years imprisonment on the second-degree murder count and 1 year imprisonment on the grand larceny count. On the 30th of August 2012, the court sentenced George Huguely to 23 years in prison on the second-degree murder charge and 1 year imprisonment on the grand larceny count, with the sentences to run concurrently. Thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss the next video. Join me next time when Crimo investigates.